Much love and appreciation, family. So, for all of the brand new men's and women's shirts that you see and the limited edition sneakers that you see here, please visit the comment and or the description below the video.
Who the call was made against, they say it might have been racially motivated, Candace?
Unfortunately, Doug, they do believe that is true. Now, Patricia Elena says she never had a problem dropping off her kids at their father's home until this weekend. She says the family has been dealing with a neighbor, Tammy Postma, lurking around their condo. But Patricia says she was still surprised when Postma threw slurs at her way and then called the police on her.
You're acting very racist right now by calling us ghetto?
On Sunday, Patricia Elena pulled into this Cascade Township neighborhood to drop her kids off when things turned ugly.
I was just here dropping my kids off, and that's when she said that. She stormed across her yard, said, "Get out, you don't belong here, go back to the ghetto."
I suggest you go.
It was her ex-boyfriend's neighbor, Tammy Postma, yelling insults from her condo across the street. And when Elena asked her to not do so in front of her 3 children, Postma became angry and called the police.
I was like, I didn't think I heard her right, so I went and I grabbed my phone, and I was like, no, I'm going to make sure I grab this. So I started recording her, and that's what you've seen on the video.
In the video, you can hear Postma say gang activity on the phone. And this police report says she called because of gang activity, but when he asked Postma about it... So why would you think that it was gang activity, though?
I don't know.
She didn't have much to say.
But you know what? I had a couple drinks and just end that.
Her claims about a few drinks also showing up in the police report, which states that she had a half-full glass of wine near her when the police arrived and was slurring her words, something Helena says is still not an excuse for her actions.
How could you do that? How could you subject people to having to live on eggshells and in fear just because of your ignorance and bigotry?
This time, Postma is off the hook for her unwarranted call to the police. But next time, it could lead to charges.
Continue false reports using 911 in a manner that is not permissible, not an emergency. Stalking type behaviors are all absolutely situations that could lead to criminal charges.
Unfortunately, Helena's family has only lived in the neighborhood for about a month, but she tells me she hopes this type of behavior does not continue.
Meanwhile, the next day, my son's asking, Mom, what did we do wrong? Like, we were just laughing, you know? How do you explain that to a child?
Yeah, that's a difficult one there. Now, Postma threatened to have the family kicked out because she told them she was on the condo association board. We have found out that that is not true. And again, according to the authorities, Postma could face a fine or jail time if this behavior continues. For now, live.
Hey, how you doing? This is Seji Hito here to bring you the news. So, of course, as I always state, me being from Detroit, I have to make sure I cover certain stories when going through the news. Now, here you have it. You have both people. You have the mother, Patricia Elena, who is dropping off her son. And then you have the random white woman of the day, Tammy Postma, who is a neighbor. So she's dropping off her kid, and her are just, laughing, just, doing something that a parent and a child does. And obviously this was just so odd, and it bewildered, Tammy Postma, that she just had to come outside of her house and she had to call the police. And it's like, your life is so empty. It's so dreadful. Is in such shambles, in such disarray, that you just saw something oh so wrong with a mother and a son outside laughing, that you just had to call the police and lie 2 times, saying that you called due to gang activity. And the white-splaining begins when she decides that, oh, you know what? I messed up. Let me go inside and have half a glass of wine real quick. So by the time police already came, she probably took some Xanax or some other type of pills while she did it. And now the police come and her speech is slurred. You can probably smell alcohol coming directly from her breath. And of course, she has the evidence there, aka the alcohol in this large wine glass for the excuse. And she even listed that in the report. And she said it when the news reporter questioned her about what took place. And she was like, well, I did have a drink, but that's no excuse. So if it's no excuse, why are you listing it? What's the use of even listing the alcohol from the beginning, even in the police report? Why? because you wanted to give yourself a cop out. You wanted to give yourself a scapegoat. She's like, you know what? This isn't really me. I had alcohol, and whatever else happened, that's, just due to the alcohol. When everybody knows that alcohol is liquid courage, and also a cover. It's the main go-to. It's either with white people. It just so happens to be mental illness, or it happens to be alcohol, or it happens to be depression, or also, I'm sorry, drugs. Any which of those are very valid excuses and reasons for white people to act bigoted, have discriminatory behavior, and to be racist. Those have been used all the time, and they pretty much work. They pretty much work. And, it seems to have worked in this case because, as the chief said, he was like, yo, she does this again. We're going to have to file charges because she's abusing, 911 and law enforcement. But they didn't say that they would charge her now. They're going to give her another go at it and see if she does it again, even though they have they have evidence. Look here, if somebody white literally calls the police on somebody and states it's gang activity, just let it be known they're trying to get you shot and killed. She said that to get the police to respond in such a manner that they would just hop out the car and just start assaulting the woman. Wouldn't even ask questions. They would just go at it and, and see what happens. That's what she wanted to happen. The reason I put the story up here is to further show that you have white people out here that will readily use the police as a method to harm, maim, brutalize, murder, and kill anybody that is black and or a person of color. So this is a video especially dedicated to the people of color out there who like to co-sign and body block for a lot of white people out there. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to show up and say like, oh, well, not all white people are like that. I got white people in my family. I got white friends. I got a white husband. I got a white wife. I got white kids. I got a white house. I got a white car. I'm pretty sure that you're going to list, a lot of stuff that you have that's white. I'm just doing this to let you know that regardless of whatever you're going to use as a body blocker for racism, it doesn't negate the racism that takes place just because you can list 5 people: John, Jane, Terry, Steve, Billy, Billy Bob, Joe, Timmy, Bob, and John, and William. Just because you can list all of those people doesn't mean that racism, bigotry, and discrimination doesn't happen and doesn't exist in this country, and it isn't still going on as we speak right now. So take it how you want to take it, but don't argue with me. Argue with the video and the facts that are in the video. So if you have a problem, take it up with the next door neighbor, Tammy Postma, because she is now an internet sensation. She's now viral. And like I said before, she's a now white example.